he was attacked by a neighboring king. Sathyarat was killed in that battle. His wife somehow managed to save her life by hiding in a forest. The queen was pregnant at that time. At the shore of a pond she gave birth to a child. She was feeling thirsty, so she went into the pond to quench her thirst. Unfortunately, she was killed by a crocodile who used to live in that pond. The hungry child started crying. A beggar woman arrived there with her 1-year-old child. Though her heart was filled with compassion, seeing the hungry child crying, still she was hesitant to take him in her lap. Right then Lord Shiva appeared as a beggar and advised her to bring up the orphan child. The beggar woman asked about the origin of the child. Lord Shiva told her that the father of this child Sathyarat in his previous life had left the Pradeshavarata incomplete. He had also ordered his men to sever the head of his enemy. After this, he had broken his fast in his impure state, without taking a bath. As a result, Sathyarat met a premature death in his next life. The mother of this orphan child too committed suicide, deceitfully getting the co-wife of her husband killed. As a result, she was devoured by a crocodile in her next life. Describing about the child, Lord Shiva said, "This child was Brahmin by birth in his previous life, but still he never engaged himself in any religious or virtuous deeds. So in his next life, though he was born in a royal family, still he remained poor. You must take this child under your control, and after his sacred thread ceremony gets accomplished, you must engage him in my, Shiva's, devotion. If you don't obey my command, then it would not be good for the welfare of your own child." After saying this, Lord Shiva disappeared. The beggar woman took that child to her house and brought him up with great love and care. When he grew up, his sacred thread ceremony was performed and then he was initiated into the worship of Lord Shiva. By the blessing of Lord Shiva, Sathyarat's son formed a pot full of gold while he was taking bath in a pond. Now the beggar family became very rich. Once again, when he had gone to a forest, he met a Gandhava princess to whom he ultimately got married. This way he became a king. He lived happily with his mother and his brother. Lord Shiva appears in the guise of Indra, Sureshwar. Upamanyu, the son of sage Vyagrapad, was brought up in his maternal uncle's home since his childhood. One day Upamanyu was very hungry. His mother gave him milk to drink, which was not enough to satisfy his hunger. He demanded more and started crying. His mother mixed some wheat flour in the water and gave him to drink as there was no milk left in the house. Upamanyu, finding the taste different, told his mother that it was not milk but something else. He again started crying. His mother told him that if he wanted milk, then he should worship Lord Shiva, as he only was capable of making the milk available. Upamanyu proceeded towards the Himalaya and started doing penance to please Lord Shiva, continuously chanting the mantra Om Namah Shivaya. His penance generated so much of heat that all the 3 worlds started burning. To test his devotion, Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati appeared before him disguised as Indra and Indrani respectively. Both of them told Upamanyu to stop doing penance. They said, "We Indra and Indrani are extremely pleased by your devotion. Stop worshipping Shiva. We will fulfill all your desires." Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati did not stop at this. They even cursed Shiva. Upamanyu became very furious and got up to attack the abuser Indra. Shiva and Parvati were satisfied by his total dedication and devotion. They revealed their real identity and blessed him. Shiva promised Upamanyu that he would be present in the vicinity of his hermitage along with Parvati forever. Upamanu returned back to his home and narrated the whole story to his mother, who was very pleased. Lord Shiva got the name Jureshwar because he appeared in the guise of Indra. Sage Vyasa advises the Pandavas to worship Shiva. After losing their whole kingdom to Duryodhana in the gamble, Pandavas went to the Dwait forest accompanied by Draupadi. They started living in a place which was donated by Valitra's son. Duryodhana instigated Sage Duvasa to torment the Pandavas. Sage Duvasa went to the place where Pandavas were staying, accompanied by thousands of his disciples. He demanded food from the Pandavas. How could have the Pandavas satiated from the hunger of thousands of people? Lord Krishna came to their rescue and saved them from being disgraced. As a result, Duvasa and his disciples went back satisfied. Lord Krishna advised the Pandavas to worship Lord Shiva, but they neglected that advice. As a result, their sufferings increased in magnitude. One day Sage Vyasa arrived there. The Pandavas gave a rousing reception. Considering Arjuna to be the most capable among the Pandavas, Vyasa taught him the method of doing Parthiva worship. Later on, Arjuna went to the Indrakil mountain to please Indra by his penance. Sage Vyasa preached Yudhisthira to remain firm on his virtuosity and religiousness. Arjuna's penance generated so much of heat that all the living creatures of the three worlds were unable to bear its scorching heat. All the living creatures of the three worlds went to Indra to seek his help. Indra went to Arjuna in the guise of a celibate and asked about the purpose for which he was doing penance. Arjuna told him that he wanted to defeat the Kauravas. Indra then told Arjuna that it was not in his capacity to help him achieve victory over the Kauravas, because of Aswatthama, who was a partial incarnation of Lord Shiva. Indra advised Arjuna to please Lord Shiva by his penance so that his wishes could be fulfilled. Indra then entrusted some of his men, the job of Arjuna's security, and went back to his abode. Arjuna commenced his penance to please Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva appears in the guise of Karat and blesses Arjuna. Arjuna did a tremendous penance by standing only on one leg and concentrating his gaze upon the blazing sun. The deities became very impressed by Arjuna's penance. They went to Lord Shiva and requested him to bless Arjuna. Lord Shiva accepted their request. Duryodhana had sent a demon named Mukha to kill Arjuna. Mukha had disguised himself as a boar. Arjuna was engrossed in his meditation, when suddenly his concentration got disturbed by a loud noise. He opened his eyes and saw Mukha being chased by a band of Karats. In fact, it was none other than Shiva who had appeared in the guise of Karat. Both Arjuna and Lord Shiva struck the boar with their respective arrows at the same time. As a result, the boar was killed. Lord Shiva sent his Ganas to bring back the arrow. Similarly, Arjuna too went near the dead boar to bring his arrow. Arjuna found his arrow lying on the ground. He picked it up in his hand. Right then the Ganas arrived there and asked Arjuna to return that arrow as it belonged to their master, Shiva. But Arjuna refused to part with his arrow. Instead, he asked the Ganas to convey his challenge to their master to have a duel with him. The Ganas went back to Lord Shiva and narrated the whole story to him. Lord Shiva accepted Arjuna's challenge and went to fight with him. His Ganas accompanied him. Arjuna defeated all the Ganas of Shiva. In the end, Lord Shiva came forward to have a duel fight with him. Shiva was very much impressed by his valor. He revealed his real identity. Arjuna was very ashamed that he fought with Shiva. Lord Shiva consoled him and gave his weapon Pashuphat to Arjuna. The 12 Jyotirlingas. Describing about the 12 Jyotirlingas, Sutta told the sages. There are 12 Jyotirlingas which are as follows. 1. Somnath in Saurashtra. 2. Mallikarjuna in Srishale. 3. Mahaklanuj 4. Ameshwar in Omkar. 5. Kedah in the Himalaya. 6. Bhimashankar at the bank of Bhima River. 7. Vishwanath in Varanasi. 8. Triambakeshwar at the bank of Gautama. 9. Baidyanath at Chaitabhumi. 10. Nagesh, which is between Dwarakavandwaraka and Betdwaraka. 11. Rameshwar at Bachubandand. 12. Dhushmeshi in Shivalaya. These above-mentioned 12 Jyotirlingas are considered to be very sacred. A devotee who pays a visit to any of these places and worship, gets all of his wish fulfilled. Out of these 12 Jyotirlingas, Somnath Jyotirlinga is believed to destroy the sorrows of moon. A devotee who worships this Jyotirlinga gets cured from incurable diseases like leprosy etc., enjoys all kinds of worldly pleasures and attains salvation. Similarly, having a darshan of Mallikarjuna helps a devotee to fulfill all of his desires. Having a darshan of Mahaklanuj helps a devotee to fulfill all kinds of desire and achieve salvation. Similarly, if a devotee merely touches the idol of Omkarlinga, then he achieves the desired fruits. Kedarlinga is situated in the Himalayas and is considered to be very sacred. Lord Shiva took his 6th incarnation as Bhimashankar to kill the demon Bhima. This incarnation of Shiva took place at a place called Kamarupa in Assam. The 7th incarnation of Lord Shiva was as Vishwanath at Kashi. This Jyotirlinga is considered to be very sacred and fulfiller of all the desires of a man. Lord Shiva took his 8th incarnation at the bank of river Gautami at the request of sage Gautam. This Jyotirlinga too is considered to be very sacred and a fulfiller of all the desires of a man. The 9th incarnation of Shiva was as Baidyanath at Dioga in Bihar. This Jyotirlinga was established by the demon king Ravana. A devotee who worships this Jyotirlinga gets all of his wishes fulfilled. Because of this, it is also known as Kamanlinga. Devotees carry the holy water of the Ganges from Sultanganj and both the idol of Baidyanath in the months of Shravana and Bhadrapakshya according to the Hindu calendar. Lord Shiva took his 10th incarnation to kill the demon Daryuk who used to live in Daryuk forest. A devotee who worships Nagesh never faces any calamity. The 11th incarnation of Lord Shiva was as Rameshwarlinga. This linga was established by Sri Rama while the construction of a bridge over the sea was going on. Having a darshan of this Jyotirlinga bestows both worldly pleasures and salvation. Lord Shiva took his 12th incarnation as Dhumshwar after being pleased by Dhushma, the wife of Sumedha. Having a darshan of this Jyotirlinga helps a devotee to fulfill all of his desires. All the above-mentioned 12 Jyotirlingas are very sacred and give total accomplishment to the devotees. Part 4 Koti Rudra Samhita. The greatness of Upplingas. After describing about the 12 Jyotirlinga, Sutta mentioned about the various Upplingas originating from them. The Upplinga named Samshwar is situated at a place where the earth meets the ocean. This Upplinga is also known as Antikesh. The Upplinga originating from Mallikarjuna is famous by the name of Rudrashwar. Similarly, the Upplinga originating from Mahakal Jyotirlinga is known as Dugdhesh. The Upplinga manifesting from Omkar Jyotirlinga is famous as Kardameshwar. The Upplinga manifesting from Kedashwar Jyotirlinga is known as Bhuteshwar and is situated at the bank of Yamuna River. The Upplinga manifesting from Bhimashankar Jyotirlinga is famously known as Bhimeshwar. The Upplingas manifesting from Nageshwar, Rameshwar and Dhushmeshwar Jyotirlingas are known as Bhuteshwar, Gupteshwar and Vagreshwar respectively. All these uplingas are considered to be very sacred. A devotee who has darshan of these upalingas gets liberated from all of his sins. Apart from these 12 Jyotirlingas and upalingas, there are numerous other lingas, which have great religious importance. They are Kritikavasshava, Dilmundashava, Bhutshava, Bachyukshava, Pureshava, Siddhanateshava, Shrinjashava, Gopshava, Rangeshava, Rameshava, Atrishava, Mahabullinga Kameshava, Gainshava, Shukreshava, Chandrashika, Rishishava, Laliteshava, Pashupatishava, Pashupatanath, Kamtanath and Andakeshwar etc. Atri and Anasuya do penance. Sage Atri and his wife Anasuya were doing penance in the forest called Kamid, situated near the Chitrakoot mountain. Once it did not rain for many days. As a result, people living in that area faced a severe drought. Anasuya requested her husband to help out the people from their hardships. Sage Atri sat down to meditate. One by one, his disciples deserted him. Only Anasuya remained with him. She spent her days worshipping the Parthiva lingas and circumambulating Sage Atri, who was engrossed in his meditation. She had vowed not to have a single morsel of food till it rained. All the deities became very pleased with their penance. They arrived at the place where both of them were doing penance and after giving blessings went back to their respective abodes. Lord Shiva and River Ganga stayed there. It did not rain for 54 years. Both Sage Atri and Anasuya continued with their respective penance. While doing penance, Sage Atri felt thirsty. He requested Anasuya to fetch some water. Anasuya went with a kamandal, in search of water but did not find it anywhere. Ganga appeared before her and said, "I am very pleased with you. You can demand anything from me you like." Anasuya demanded only a kamandal full of water for her husband. Ganga instructed her to dig up a pit and when it was done she entered into that pit. Anasuya filled her kamandal with the water from that pit and went back to her thirsty husband. After quenching his thirst, Atri inquired from Anasuya as to where did she find water. Anasuya narrated the whole story. Both of them then went back to the place where Anasuya had met Ganga. Both of them requested Ganga to stay at that very place. Ganga agreed to remain there on the condition that Anasuya donates all the virtues attained by her husband by worshipping Lord Shiva for 1 year. Anasuya donated all the virtues, without any hesitation. Lord Shiva became very much pleased by their charitable tendencies. He appeared before them. After eulogizing, Atri requested Lord Shiva to remain in his hermitage accompanied by Parvati. Lord Shiva agreed to do so. Ganga also stayed with them. Later on Atri performed a grand yaja, after the completion of which it rained heavily. Thus Atri ended the phase of drought by his tremendous penance. River Mandakini flows from that same pit which Anasuya had dug up. The Shivlinga, which was worshipped by Anasuya during that time later on, came to be known as Atrishwalinga. The Brahmin woman attains to heaven. Once upon a time, there lived a Brahmin at a place called Kani situated at the bank of River Eva. When the Brahmin became old, he went to Kashi after leaving behind his wife to live with his sons. After some time the Brahmin died. When the Brahmin's sons came to know about his death, they went to Kashi and performed his last rites. After some days the Brahmin's woman died too. The Brahmin's son, Shuvas again went to Kashi carrying the ashes of their dead mother as per her own wish. On his way, Shuvad became a guest of another Brahmin. Shuvad witnessed an amazing sight, even in the night, in which he saw his host trying to milk the cow. At first he allowed the calf to drink the cow's milk for some time. His host then moved away the calf from the cow. The calf was still hungry and was not willing to move away from the cow. The Brahmins thrashed the calf very badly. This made the cow very sad and vowed to teach that wicked Brahmin a lesson. The calf tried his best to convince his mother against doing this, as her action might make her commit the gravest of sins, the Brahmahatya. But the cow was not worried, as she knew the method of nullifying that sin. Shiva was surprised that the cow knew the method of nullifying the sin of Brahmahatya. Next morning, the Brahmin entrusted the job of milking the cow to the Brahmin's son. The son gave a severe thrashing to the calf, who was unwilling to move away from his mother. The angry cow lifted the Brahmin's son with her horns and dashed him against the ground. The Brahmin's son died on the spot. When the Brahmin returned to his home, he became very furious on seeing his son dead. He drove both the cow and the calf out of his house, after beating them very badly. The color of the cow had turned blue due to the thrashing she got from the Brahmin. The cow went to the temple of Nandikeshwar, situated at the bank of river Narmada. To neutralize the sin of Brahmahatya, she took a dip in the water of river Narmada for 3 times. As a result, she regained her original color. Shiva had followed the cow all along the way. He was amazed to see the cow regaining her original color. He proceeded on his further journey towards Kashi. He met a beautiful lady on the way who inquired as to where was he going. Shiva told her that he was going to immerse the ashes of her mother in the holy water of the river Ganges. The lady advised him to immerse the ashes in the water of Narmada itself, as the holy Ganga herself comes to meet Narmada on the 7th day of Vaishakh every year. Today is the same auspicious day when the holy Ganga will be coming to meet Narmada, said the beautiful woman. She also told him that immersing the ashes in the waters of Narmada would help his mother to attain to the divine abode. This beautiful lady was none other than Ganga herself. After advising Shiva, she disappeared. Shiva followed the instruction of that beautiful lady. He immersed the ashes in the waters of Narmada. He saw his mother attaining a divine body. His mother blessed Shiva and then attained to the abode of Lord Shiva. Mahabal Shivlinga. Describing about Mahabal Shivlinga, Sutta said to the sages, Mahabal Shivlinga is situated at Gokarna area. A devotee who has a darshan of Mahabal Shivlinga on the 8th or 14th day of Ardra Nakshatra falling on Monday, becomes free from all of his sins and attains to the Shivaloka. Having a darshan of this Shivlinga on any other date too helps a man to attain to the abode of Almighty. All the deities, ancestors, holy rivers like Ganga and the Nagas stand guard on all the 4 entrances of Mahabal temple. Even the most degraded sinner attains salvation if he worships Mahabal Shivlinga on the 14th day of Magha, dark lunar phase. On this day people come from all over India to see the grand festival. The reason behind phallic worship. The sages curiously asked Sutta about the purpose with which Parvati had decided to appear in the form of a vagina. Sutta narrated the following tale. Long ago, some sages used to do penance in a Shiva temple situated near Daruk forest. One day they went to collect woods needed for the yajna. Lord Shiva wanted to test their devotion, so he arrived before the sages' wives in naked position holding his own phallus in his hand. The wives of the sages became frightened by Shiva's appearance. When the sages returned after collecting woods, they became very furious to see a naked person luring their wives. They asked Shiva to reveal his identity. When Shiva did not give any reply, they cursed him to become a phallus. The phallus fell down from the hand of Lord Shiva and generated so much of heat that all the 3 worlds started to burn. The sages became very nervous and went to seek the help of Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma revealed to them that the person who they cursed was none other than Lord Shiva himself. He also instructed them to please goddess Parvati, as she only could have them from Shiva's wrath by appearing in the form of vagina and holding the phallus. The sages followed the instruction of Lord Brahma. Goddess Parvati appeared in the form of vagina and held Shiva's phallus in herself. The sages then worshipped the Shivlinga. This Jyotirlinga became famous by the name of Hatkshwar. The origin of Bhataknath. Long ago there lived a Brahmin by the name of Dadichi. His wife was a low caste, though his son, Sudarshan, was very learned. The name of his wife was Teucula. She had her husband under total control and influence. Sudarshan had 4 sons. One day Dadichi planned to go out due to some work. He entrusted the job of Shiva's worship to Sudarshan. Sudarshan worshipped the idol of Shiva daily without fail. On the Shivaratri day, Sudarshan too had observed a fast like rest of his family members. He worshipped Shiva's idol in the morning as usual and then went to his home. During the night time, he had a sexual relationship with his wife. After that, he sat down to worship without purifying himself. Lord Shiva became very furious by his action. He immobilized him by his curse. Dadichi was very sad to see the condition of his son. He commenced a tremendous penance to please goddess Parvati. After being pleased by his penance, Parvati requested Lord Shiva to liberate Sudarshan from his curse. Lord Shiva became pleased and blessed Sudarshan by saying that he would become famous as Bhataknath and also that the worship of Bhataknath would amount to the worship of Lord Shiva. The origin of Somnath. The moon had 27 wives, one of whom was Rohini. The moon loved Rohini very much, which made the rest of his wives very jealous and angry. They went to their father, Dakshur, and complained about Moon's behavior. Dakshur went to Moon and advised him to give proper attention to all of his wives. But it did not have any effect on him and he continued giving special treatment to Rohini. When Dakshur came to know about this, he became very furious. He cursed Moon to become weak and devoid of radiance. The Moon then sent the deities to Lord Brahma to seek his help. At first, Lord Brahma became very angry with Moon, but later on he cooled down and told the deities that Moon can get liberated from the curse, if he chants Mahamrityunjaya mantra by going to Prabhu's area. Moon went to Prabhu's area and chanted Mahamrityunjaya mantra for 10 crore time after sitting in one posture. Lord Shiva appeared before him and asked him to demand anything he wished. Moon requested Lord Shiva to liberate him from the curse given by Dakshur. Lord Shiva told Moon that the words of Dakshur can never become untrue. However, he blessed Moon by saying that he would wane during the dark lunar phase due to the curse, but wax during the dark lunar phase due to his, Shiva's, blessings. Lord Shiva also provided Moon that he would be present along with Parvati near him, Moon. Thus Lord Shiva established himself as Somnath. The deities constructed a khanda named Uttara-khanda. It is believed that the moon was liberated from the curse by taking a bath in this khanda. The origin of Mallikarjuna. Once, under the influence of sage Narada, Kartikeya had gone to the Crouch mountain to do penance. Shiva and Parvati could not bear the pain of his separation for long. Both of them went to the Crouch mountain to see him. When Kartikeya saw them coming, he moved to some other place. When Lord Shiva saw this, he established himself in the form of Jyotirlinga, which later on became famous as Mallikarjuna Jyotirlinga. The origin of Mahakaleshwar. There used to live a Brahmin at Avantikapuri. He was a great devotee of Lord Shiva and used to worship daily. This Brahmin had 4 sons whose names were Devprayur, Medaprayur, Sukrit, and Dharmabayu. By the blessings of Lord Shiva the Brahmin enjoyed a very happy and contented life. After his death, the Brahmin's son continued the tradition of Shiva's worship. There was a mountain named Ratanak on which a demon named Dashan used to live. Being intoxicated by the boons received from Lord Brahma, he used to torment all the people. He had all the surrounding area under his control except the house in which the Brahmin family lived. Dashan ordered his fellow demons to bring the Brahmin after capturing them. All the demons went to Avantikapuri and created havoc. They went to the Brahmins and told them about Dashan's order. The Brahmins were busy doing worship at that time, so they did not give ear to their words. The Brahmins continued with their worship. The demon became very angry and tried to attack them. Suddenly the earth cracked with a tremendous sound and Lord Shiva manifested from within the cracks. He killed all the demons. He then went to the Ratnamala mountain and killed Dashan. He again returned to the Brahmins and expressed his desire of fulfilling their wishes. The Brahmins expressed their desire of getting liberated from the bondages of this world. They also requested him to remain at that place. Lord Shiva accepted their request and established himself in the form of Mahakal. The origin of Omkareshwar. Once, Narada had gone to meet Vindhya mountain. Vindhya was very arrogant in his behavior. Narada told him that Sumayu mountain was even greater than him and so his false pride had no basis. Vindhya became very dejected and disheartened. He went to Omkareshwar and started worshipping Shiva after making a Parthiv linga. Lord Shiva became very pleased by his penance. He appeared before Vindhya and blessed him. After some time the sages too arrived there and worshipped Shiva. They requested Lord Shiva to remain at that place forever. Lord Shiva established himself as Parameshwarlinga. One Shivlinga already existed at Ameshwar, which became famous as Omkareshwar. The origin of Kedeshwar. 2 incarnations of Lord Vishnu by the names of Nara and Vishnu did penance at Bhadrakasharama. Both of them used to worship the idol of Shiva daily. Lord Shiva used to arrive in his subtle form and accept their offerings without being noticed by them. One day Lord Shiva appeared before them. Nara and Narayana eulogized him and requested to remain at that place forever. Lord Shiva accepted their request and established himself as Kedeshwar Jyotirlinga. The origin of Bhimashankar. Bhima, the demon, was the son of Kumbhakarna and Kakati. After Kumbhakarna was killed by Sri Rama, Kakati and Bhima went to live at Sai mountain. When Bhima grew up he asked Kakati about his father. Kakati told him that his father had been killed by Rama. Bhima swore to avenge his father's death. He did a tremendous penance to please Lord Brahma. Brahma appeared before him and blessed him with insurmountable power and strength. Bhima then drove out the deities from heaven. He went to Kamarupa and defeated the king. He captured the king and put him in prison. The helpless king used to pass his time by chanting the mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. His wife worshipped the Parthiva linga of Shiva for the release of the king. All the deities went at the bank of River Mahakshi and worshipped the Parthiva linga of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva appeared before them and assured them that the end of Bhima was near. Lord Shiva went to the king who had been held captive by Bhima. His Ganas too accompanied him. All of them waited for the opportune time to kill Bhima. Meanwhile somebody informed Bhima that the king was doing worship of Shiva in the prison, with the objective of getting Bhima killed. Bhima arrived at the spot in the prison where the king was worshipping the Parthiva linga of Lord Shiva. He made fun of Shiva and struck the Shivlinga with his sword. Right then, Lord Shiva appeared. A tremendous battle was fought between both of them. The battle continued for a long period. Sage Narada requested Lord Shiva to kill Bhima as soon as it was possible. Lord Shiva produced fire by his loud roar. In a very short time the fire spread in the whole forest. All the demons including Bhima were burnt to death. The deities and the sages arrived there. They requested Lord Shiva to remain there. Lord Shiva accepted their request and established himself in the form of Bhima Jyotirlinga.